Okay guys, so for today's Freeform Friday, I want to make some flowers. I know the other day when I had reviewed that paper for Arteza, I had mentioned, oh, you know, I kind of like the weight of it. It's a little bit thicker than like paper weight, obviously, than like typing paper or printer paper, as they call it nowadays. And then you guys were curious about it. A lot of people had asked if I would go ahead and use it for that purpose. And I was like, you know what? I will. So I'll grab that in just a minute. That paper was sent free of charge, you know, initially, obviously, for the review. Normally, you would give that disclaimer, but, you know, I'm not giving it. I already gave my opinion on it, so now I'm just using it. But anyway, any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. Having said that, it's kind of a little bit of busted out, especially since I missed busted out this week. It was a busy Wednesday. I was like, oh, I just want like flower dyes, but just basic ones. I thought, oh, you know, I have some Spellbinders ones. Well, first of all, I thought they were just Heartfelt Creations, but then I realized it's not their brand, they're Spellbinders ones. So this is a fun little case I've had just sitting here in front of me. I can see it. Because what's in here is a little bit expensive. Like, check this out. These are things I picked up at like a Scrapbook Expo probably a good 10 years ago. $14.50 for these little guys, which, I don't know. But these are interesting because there was a reason that there was a circle in there. Oh, that's it. I'm supposed to use these along with these other little dies that are like this. And then you pop them in and you make like a circle of flowers that pop out. But kind of interesting. So, what is these from? Who is this? It says Nellie Snellen, but the person who was selling them, I think, was like Tesla, maybe? Tesla Crafts. They always have like funky stuff. Oh, look at this! A B plate that's never been used. Oh, right. That's a treasure right there. But I know, see, these little guys go along with that. And they were $5. But that's fine. That's not why I'm here. But I was getting distracted. Oh, look at this butterfly! What's in here? Oh, and it has wings. Cheery Lynn. That's it. Designs. I remember Cheery Lynn. Yeah. Oh, look at this one. Okay, well, anyway. That's not why we're here. I know these Heartfelt Creations are in here. So these are from like the first iterations of Heartfelt Creations, like a long time ago, you guys. Like I said, probably 10, might be longer years ago than that. I didn't even know I had this huge set, to be honest. Oh, these go together. So she had designed these to go into the Nestabilities Blossom, right? And we've already talked about this. This is what Spellbinders used to look like back in the day, and they were in like a plastic case, and then you see how all these, they coordinate. Even though this is a rose, you think it have its own shape, but she designed these to go with this, right? This company's. And then she started making her own dies with Heartfelt Creation. So what I want, like this die is not what I want to use. I think today's purpose will be to make flowers. I'm looking for a specific die. It's the one that goes with this. Look, I have the leaves that go with the leaf die. This one. The one that goes with the other one is not, well, kind of. So this one also goes with blossoms. This one, it says it goes with dahlia. That's right. This dahlia one, even though they look totally different, it has like points, so then the points cut out and it looks like sharper, like a snowflake, I guess. Anyway, I wanted these guys, or something similar to that. At the bottom one is the Anna Griffin, plates that I had tried out not too long ago. I forgot what they're called, but anyway, they're like embossing cutting plates. So I'm gonna grab that paper. It's right next to me here. I forgot to get it. I was like, what do I want to use with it? I want to use those. And basically any flower die you have, okay? So we're just gonna play a little bit. I have these guys that are super old. I don't know if they still sell these. I don't even know what the names are, but they're from Fiskars, right? Yeah. So I have like those shapes. We used to make flowers out of just circle shapes. Same thing, but we would scrunch it up and then you have this cute little flower. Oh, and then I saw there was a flower die in like this tonic bag set that they sent me, these guys. And I don't know if these are too little or not. I can't tell what's going on there. So I'm going to open this up and see if there's another die in there that I might want to use for the flower die. And this is the mason jar die set. Really cute. Okay, so I have those. So what I'm going to do is grab inks. Maybe daubers. I don't know if I need a dauber. A spray bottle with water because I always like to wet them. The other thing I want to do too is do like, what I was thinking is like a romantic card or something sweet, you know, like a country card. So I will probably do some wax melting too, and then we'll have those ready, like wax seals that you can use later. You don't have to put it right on your project, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys, I have my son doing some, what's this called? Pressure washing outside. And I have 3 car garage, so like it's a pretty big area, and then they're like in blocks, right? The cement that's in front of there. So I'm gonna take one of these guys, and he's never done that before. Now I'm not talking about little Dorian, I'm talking about Diego. So he came in to ask me something. Like, it's not hard, just go. Just do it. That's it. All right, with these guys, again, we can layer, but what I want to show you is that you don't have to layer them for them to be pretty, but you can definitely take whatever you want. I'm just going to cut, I think, 3 of these out. So pretty, just even sitting there, they look really pretty. And the paper's a little bit, I mean, it's white, but it's a little bit off-white. I don't know if you can compare to something, that's not the whitest, but anyway. Okay, I want this. And again, you know, Freeform Friday, look at that. I still have ink on here from before, and you know what? That's okay. Actually, those are fast drying inks. I don't know if they'll do what I want, but they should. They should reconstitute if it's wet. Okay, so I've shown you guys where I just spray them with water and then crunch them, and maybe you want to put some ink or other things. Right now what I'm going to do is take this tumbled glass. Sure, why not? And I'm just going to put some ink on the very edges. Trying to stick to the edges, but I got a little more than I wanted. And I'm going to do that basically with all of them. And I'll be right back, okay? So for now, we're just putting ink on the very edges. After that. And then I'm going to spray them with a little water. It doesn't have to be like a ton of water, but and you see the ink is already traveling, doing different things. And that's fine. You see that? Like this one is pulling down. And that's pretty much what we want. Now, a lot of times, again, I crumple them up. So I'm going to do something a little bit different this time, which we've talked about before. And actually, we can just put them all together. I'm just going to stack them. Now, a lot of times when they're like an even number, you can stack them. Actually, you can still do it now. Just get them so that they're kind of stacked, but it's not the easiest thing to do right now. So I'm just going to stack them like this. And each little section, I'm going to take a jewelry plier, a tweezer, anything you have that will give you a little hand on this. So I'm going to use this guy. They're not as wet as I would like, so let me run that in some water some more. And I'm going to give them each a really good twist. I hope you can see that. Okay. And I'm doing them all together just for efficiency. Like, if you want to make a bunch of flowers, it's not fun to do one piece at a time. So even right now, I was like, oh, maybe at the end I'll put them on a card. But then I thought, dang, that means I have to make a bunch of flowers enough for a card. So, you know, when you have time, just sit, maybe ink them one day, maybe do the other part the next day, or however you want. Okay, so I'm going to let this just sit for a little while, crunched up the way they are, okay? Because I like to keep them crunched. You can also hit them with your heat gun right now. Hopefully you can see every single one of these is like twisted. And if I wanted to... Hey, where's my heat tool? Well, I'm going to grab my heat tool and just hit them over the top just to dry them a little bit faster, okay? But I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to be kidding me. I just pressed record and I thought I was done. And apparently I didn't record anything. So I'm going to do this again. I don't know how far back we went. Oh, darn. Oh, you know what? Let me... Whatever. Let's just start over. Oh, that's such a bummer. Oh, that's such a bummer. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was when I went to dry them. But you know what? Since I already did one in that bigger size, I'll use the small one this time just to make it different. Oh, goodness gracious. What a bummer, you guys. I'm so sorry. So I might repeat the same one twice if that's what we're doing. I don't know. But I have worn lipstick here. This time I'll use that instead of the blue I used before, which was very, very pretty. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to ink up the very edges of my little flower with a ink that will run with water. That's what you want. At least that's what I want in this one. Okay, so I'm going to do this with all of them. Oh my gosh, I'll just do it real quick. I am like, this kind of bums me out because I had it. I think all it was after I dried it, I didn't come back. But, well, we're doing another one together. It's fine. All right. Worn lipstick. An old favorite. Again, let's wet these guys. Hopefully I'm in frame. And again, the little ink is running, and that's great. And then I'm going to stack them on top of each other and give them a good twist all together. I did that with this. Hopefully we saw all that. And I'm giving them a really, really, really good twist. Okay. So basically, this part's going back, this part's going forward, you know? So you're giving it a really good little twist. And then I'm going to dry them with my heat tool that I have here. Let me twist these a little bit more. That's not enough twist on those. Basically, we're trying to keep them like bunched up, you know. This time I will take them apart. Last time I heat tooled them all together and they just were a lot alike. So maybe if I take them apart, it won't be the biggest work. But again, okay. And now I'm just going to heat tool these just so they dry a little bit faster for me. And I'll be back. Okay. So there's that. Super easy. It doesn't even take long to dry them. I really like this paper. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one because I think this was the prettiest one. And I'm just going to stick them together, kind of give it shape back into the 5-petal flower. Don't poke yourself. And try to keep them, you know, a little bit off of each other. So they're not stacked right on top of each other as far as the petals, right? What's the word? Like this one's on this side, that offset. There we go. And if you don't want to put a middle, you can just glue them together and then put maybe like a little pearl or pour a little glue, you know, glue them together and then put like a little glitter on top of a glue dab. That's always really cute. And look how pretty that is. Oh, I love this little flower. Okay. And then I grabbed these centers and I was mentioning that these, I think, came from probably AliExpress or something. I don't know. Let's see. We're going to put these here, there, and then I had looked at these and I basically borrowed a piece of wire from one of these guys. And that's what I used. And you know, they have it at the Dollar Tree, but I don't want the stamen sticking out so far, so I'm gonna reuse this little piece that I borrowed. It's basically a needle for me, because I don't need it on here, so I'm just gonna take that off. And what I mean is I just cut it off the bottom with the same wire cutter that's on my little tool there. So hopefully, and then just twist it. I cannot believe that. I just pressed, you know, okay, I'll be right back. And I pressed the button and it started recording. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, yeah. All right, let's shove this through here. And again, if you like this sticking out that far, that's up to you. I do not, so I'm just going to pull it all the way through. Carefully, obviously we don't want to tear our little paper flower, but I do want to come get this through here. There we go. The wire from like the Dollar Tree, they have really thin wire and they have like the floral wire, so it's not as thick as this one. Look at that. Cute little flower. Now we have a little set of flowers. Look at those. I just love that natural look, the way they look. The paper looks like I said, almost like a handmade material. Love it. Okay, so that's those. What else was I gonna do? I don't know. They're pretty much all the same kind of thing as what I want to do, just wet them and crinkle them. What I'm going to do is take this Heartfelt Creations one set and cut out 3 flowers of this size, of that same paper, just through the marquee, and I'll be right back. These are not that thick, right? This paper, I ran all 3 layers at the same time. I just folded it in 3, ran it through, and it seems to have worked. Let me pop this out. You know what I'll do with this one? I'll do a glimmer spray, just so it's a little bit different. But you know, there's so many ways, and you can just leave it white. That looks really pretty too, nice and crisp. And then later, if you want to color them a certain way, you can color them, you know, however. But they got a little bit of embossing because of the tightness of the 3 pieces of paper there. And so I'll use those 3. And thought I had some glimmer mist close by, but I don't. Where's the one I made? Ooh, I need to find the one I made. Otherwise, that might be. Here we go. This is the one we made not too long ago. I don't know if you guys remember. We put, I think, mica... What do we put in here? I don't remember. But, yeah. We put in refillable ink stuff, right? Or ink refill drops, and I think mica powders, or maybe perfect pearls. I don't remember that part. Let me see if it still works. Yay! Ooh! So, I did that, but I want more water. And my hands are going to get really dirty with this. This one here is going to be, okay, and this time, again, let me get them kind of, just crunch time is how I'm going to treat these. Okay, and then I'm going to hit them with the heat tool as they're crunched up like this. Right? Let me clean this up a little bit. And I'm just going to dry them. I'm back. These dry so fast, you guys. It's so great. Okay. You can even hear them going crick, crick. like crinkling as I'm hitting it with the heat tool. Okay, so there's that guy. Oh, these remind me of the Tattered Florals from Tim Holtz, which I also have. But I was just grabbing some different, whatever it is. Okay. And this one, you know what I'll do with this one? I guess we'll stack this one and glue it like I was talking about. And then we'll put a center with like some glitter or something. So let me... Ooh, fast dry glue, of course. And... put a little glue there. Take the next one. Again, try to offset them, even though it's hard to tell because the little things are all crinkled up. But try to make it so that the layers aren't right on top of each other, right? You have a little space. Why is it so dark? I was noticing the other day, is it? Ugh. I can see that these are right on top. So let me move them just a little bit. Okay. And then while I'm here waiting, I'll just do the next one because there's no sense in holding one down and then waiting for the other one and holding that one down. Where are we? Like here? Alright, I'm going to play with this a little bit while it's here. Let that dry. I'll be right back. Okay, I made sure to hear the toot and look, and it says record. Here we go. So you can use all different types of glues, whatever glue you like. This does dry clear, so I'm going to use this. But if you want to use a clear glue, you know, go ahead. I'm just putting like a center here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this. Ooh, this one's dark green. You know, I have this lighter green. That's pretty too. Let's go with this lighter one. And now, I used to have these cute little tiny spoons that help me with glitter, but I don't have them right now, or I don't see it. Oh, you know what I'll use? I know what I'll use. I have so many things laying out in front of me right now, it's a mess. Okay, I'm gonna use... Some people would just pour it and then pour this back, like that makes such a mess. So I'm gonna grab this, just a spatula or whatever, and I'll put it right on there. Just so I can be a little more accurate. Obviously we need to put enough. What's up, Dorian?
It's just that I'm done with school.
You're done with school? Okay.
Yep. Are you on?
Yep, yeah. I'm on.
Okay.
Alright, that's good. And just because I'm chintzy, I'll put this back in here, but, you know, look at that. So cute. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna put it to the side. Oh, and I was gonna, I was looking at that ton, except, you know what? I think we're good. I was just wanting to do a little fun play around with something, and then I'm gonna start with the wax seals, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I just pulled out a bunch of my supplies. I'm gonna put them on parchment paper. You can use wax paper, you can use craft mat, you know what I'm saying? Like that brown craft mat stuff. I just didn't want to pull mine out. And you can, you know, everybody sells these things, white wax seals. Some of the kits I have here are from AliExpress, Wish, Amazon. I mean, everybody has them nowadays. You can find them wherever you like. I have this one with my initial. That'd be pretty. So I'll show you a couple different things. Because like this wax stick does not have a wick. Okay, so you have to cut this up. And then a lot of these kits will come with like a little candle. But of course you can get those at the Dollar Tree. Or you just need something to burn on if you're going to use a little spoon, which you need for this stuff. Some of them have a little wick in them. And so the wick obviously helps you just light it, and then you just have to be patient and wait there as it's dripping, right? It's more old school. Trying to see what else I have here that's cool. I have a ton of... I'll show you. I've done videos already on these, but these are all the different heads that I have in here that I haven't even used yet because they're so cheap nowadays. And then, you know, just all kinds of stuff. And then there's these little chunks that are already made for you, like these little stars or like hunks like this. I think this is glow in the dark, that's why it doesn't look like anything, but it's still cool. I am going to use this little tiny spoon. I'm trying to see if I have one that burns, but I don't think I do. Yeah, that's a bummer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you can make these ahead of time and just have them. You know what? I don't want to use this gold color, actually. Silver. What do I have? Well, yeah, no, I do. All right, so what we're going to do with this is just cut hunks off of it as much as you think you need. So for a seal it's a little bit smaller. This might be okay. I know it's scary. I'm just using these scissors because make it a little bit easier. You can also cut this in pieces if you don't want to start off with a big hunk. I just don't want to mess with that anymore. I'm going to turn this on. turn it on, I guess it would be lighted, wouldn't it? Okay. And I'm just going to sit here patiently and hold this here. This feels weird because I usually don't just go right on a cutting mat like this. I usually put something else down. But either way, I don't know if you can see, it's already melting. You see that? Doesn't take long. I do prefer these little chunks because you need like maybe 3 of them. You throw in maybe a mix of colors. Maybe we'll do one with a mix of colors in a minute. And then you just put your seal in it. And if you do seals, you know what? I'll do this one. I was going to do the hydrangea one, but it's really big. And I don't know where my other spoons are. This spoon is like the tiniest one. I have other spoons that are a little bit bigger. I don't know. I would recommend using just a house spoon unless you're only going to use it for this. And I don't know, because even on the back it collects soot. I'll show you in a minute when we're done with this. Of course, this self-healing mat, I'm assuming it's good up to a certain amount of heat. I don't know what that would be. I probably should have brought out my diamond press mat. Now see, it's already starting to bubble. There's quite a bit going on. I want to see... Ooh, I might have put a little bit too much. Because we want that guy to melt down while everything else is doing its thing. And you don't want it to scorch it, right? I'm not scorching it even though you see that color. It's because there was another color in here still from before. I'm going to try to do this. You know what I should do? Where's my tweezer? Here we go. I got a little bit too much. Let me see how melty that is. I'm going to push that down to the bottom and see if I can just move it out of the way. I'll do a little bit more of this though. Once it starts bubbling, you really want to stop burning it, okay? Because then, again, you might scorch it. Let's see if that's going to be enough. And then just pour it all in one area. That's what kind of why I like doing this, because you can control it a little better. And then we'll put this down. I think I'd seen Sarah on Crafter's Companion using hers, and she pressed it and then took it right out. I'm like, what? I've never seen someone do that, because you really want that to stay in there. You know? Anyway, I'll leave it alone for a few minutes, and I will be back. I'm going to go clean this out. So while this is still wet, you can wipe it out, or you can leave it there for the next time if you don't care, because it'll still be there and it'll be waiting for you. There's that soot I was telling you about. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I actually ended up going outside to do something else, but see, it came up. And now I have this, and later on I can use it to stick it down with glue, right? So we have that piece. Okay, let's try another one. I cleaned the soot off the back of this thing. And then I went out to talk to my son, and I'm like, oh, I totally left an open flame here. Not the best idea. So you can pick out colors that are all the same, or, you know, I'm going to do a pink one, a blue one, and white maybe? That's always a good. I'm going to try to keep them separate from each other. Let's put pink, white, and blue. I like the way they sat in there the first time. How come I can't get it back in there the same way? Pink, white. It doesn't matter. It's going to swirl together anyway. Oh my gosh. I like when it was kind of lined up. There we go. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. And this way. Alright, I'm going to sit this here. Let it start burning again. Which one am I using? Oh, this one with the little butterfly. So anyway, I'm just showing you, maybe making some little embellishments that you have ready for later. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can put a quick card together, but I don't know if... We'll see. We will see. Let's put this here. You see how it's like bubbling really badly? You don't want to scorch, so just keep that going. I guess it doesn't have to be right on top of the flame either. I literally had it like in the fire. Looking pretty good. The blues pretty much disappeared. And then, you know, this is kind of like when you do that acrylic pouring, if you're good at that, maybe you want to think about how you want to pour it. Like if you want to just pour it straight out, you want to do like a little swirl as it's going down. I like to do something so you can still see the different colors, so I'm not trying to mix it up too much. And then, I'm going to put that out because I think that's the last one we're going to do, or the only other one. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so it just takes a couple minutes if even that long. Like I said, when I saw Sarah and press it and then take it out, I'm like, oh, no. So if you guys had bad luck with that, don't do that. You always want to put it in there, leave it alone for like a minute or two, and then just come back. And if this is on your project, it's not going to come off as easily. Obviously, this is parchment paper, so it's coming off. If it's on your work, it's going to stick to your paper, you know? But let's look at this little cutie. Oh my gosh, I love that. Let me see if we can focus. Focus here. Look at the little bubbles even from the bubbling, you know, that took place. It looks so cool. Okay, so we have this little psychedelic one, super cute. Let me grab something. You know what? Instead of making a new card, maybe I can add some of these things to another card that I already have made. So I'll be right back. You know I don't plan this stuff. This just happens to work out really well. I was like, what cards do I have that are kind of flat or maybe a little bit plainer? And I have the cards that we made the other day with the Diamond Press Flourish backgrounds. Again, HSN is having free shipping if you're interested. I think they're still in stock. But look at this. I thought, oh, that's so cute because it says love you and I have my little initial there. But I mean, it's still kind of plain. So I was like, well, let me see if I have other ribbons because, you know, whenever I order extra like subscription boxes from Crafts Companion, I keep all these pieces. And then maybe I'll put in my D-stash like other items that come from it. Look at this. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. And I probably should have taken pictures of these things, but it's alright. This video is going, I think, longer than I thought it was going to, especially since I had to do a redo. So I want to put this here, not too big. I would normally use like organza ribbon, to be honest. But I didn't want to go out to the garage and look in my ribbon stash. I have a big, huge box out there that holds a lot of ribbon. Do I want to do it that way or just, hold on, how do I want to do this? I had an idea, but again, this stuff isn't as nice and flexible as like organza. I would normally cut this down after I'm done applying it. Cute. Hold on. Let me see if that's how I want to do it, or this way. Yep, that's the way. Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to do it this way. And the back of this is not shiny. Now, if you want the shiny part, then just turn it, right? So I would say to do it the opposite way. Ooh, how about that? Well, nah, maybe not. Okay. Let me put this down here. Just something extra to put on there. Alright, so I am going to do something really quickly. I'm going to not fray the edges. Not fray the edges. I want to burn the edges, the ends. Just real quick so that they don't fray later. Okay. I am going to glue this down with something. It has to be really good stuff. Let me think. I like zip dry, but I don't have zip dry right now. I would probably fire up my my glue gun. But I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put a little bit under this one. This is just Kohl all-purpose. So zip dry or Beacons 3-in-1, those are the kind of glues you want because they will glue anything. But for now, I'm just going to use this guy. And then my little seal. So I'm going to hold that down for a good while and I'll be back. I'm actually going to put this to the side and put a weight on it. And I don't know if that's enough weight, but it'll hold it. And then I have this little guy. And look at this, the green and the pink. I was like, that is just what's going to have to happen. But you can put that anywhere, but I thought down here is cute. So I'm going to put it right there. And that'll be the one for this one. Now, of course, the other ones are gorgeous, but since they're kind of similar and I want to use them on a different project, these guys. Oh, even this thing kind of goes along with it, but no. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope they gave you some little ideas just to try some things out, and yeah. Again, you can put them away and then just use them later whenever you need them for a project. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.